Hey there guys. So now we have our project folder hierarchy set up, but you still might have a scene that's outside of that directory. So I'm going to show you how to move all of that over to your new project hierarchy. So up here you'll see that I'm in the hierarchy already because I was doing this tutorial earlier. But normally if you open your file up, it won't be in that directory that you make if you've already created that file beforehand. So what you want to do is go create that file with project window, and then what you're going to do is set project, and then you're going to navigate to wherever that folder is. And mine is final project, because you'll see if I double click that, you'll see the assets autosave, all that stuff in there. So I'm just going to use this blue arrow to go one level higher. I'm going to click on Final Project and then click Set. So now we have the set, our default project now set to that project instead. So you always want to make sure when you open up Maya and start working, because that's what we're going to do in this class now, is to set that project, right? Because another class is going to come in, they're going to set it to their project, and then if you don't set that immediately upon entering, it could save into some random folder somewhere that you can't really track down it very easily. So you want to make sure at the top you're working in the right project. But the only problem is, now if I go to my material attributes and then click this, you'll see that that old file path, it's on my Z drive because I have a separate drive for my game project, but and that's basically my entire project folder for the entire game is on there. However, we need to now change this over to our class final project, right? So you're gonna need to open up your navigator, right? Or your Windows Explorer or whatever it's called on Mac. I'm not sure. As you can tell, I'm not a very Mac-oriented dude. So I'm gonna go navigate to my Z drive. Oops. Then Unity, Edge1, Hard, Characters, PC, Grandma, Designs. Alright, so you'll see this is where I have my source images, right? So I'm going to control copy those, or whatever shortcut that is on the Mac. I'm pretty sure it's Command C on there. And then I'm going to go back to my project folder, which is Final Project. And you'll see I have the directory of all of these different types of things you would save, right? So like scenes are .mb files. Scripts are like scripts that you've run or written for the scene. Sounds are like things that you import for the timeline. Images are like what you render out, and but we're not concerned with those because we are looking for source images. Source images compared to regular images are textures and stuff. That's kind of stuff that we apply to objects within the scene. Images are like output from our renders to this folder, and then if you render a scene in there, you'll see that there's like thousands of images or whatever because things run at like 30 FPS. So we're gonna go to source images, and then I'm going to just paste my grandma designs in there. And now we need to go, it's a little bit of a menial task, but we need to see when I open up that file, it's looking for that Z drive directory, whereas we need the final project one. So I'm going to change this to this one. You'll see there's no visual change on there. That's because it's the same image, right? But we need to have it be that proper image, because if you then take that, see, it didn't update there. Oh, whoops, my bad. Let me change this. Yeah, it's because it brought me back to that default folder again, and I just didn't even change it. So I'm going back to source images, and now there you go. So it just says source images, Grandma design side. You notice how it doesn't have like the C drive or anything on there, or like any of that other directory. It's because we set that project thing. So it just inputs that set project folder right at the beginning of that. And do it for the last one. Oh, I made the same mistake again. Ha! Well, there you go. Classic. So I need to navigate to that source images folder in that project folder that I made. And there we go. Source images. Alright, design. And let me just make sure source images. Alright, so we're set. Now all of our textured objects in our scene are set to the proper assets, but let that be a good lesson for because imagine if I had like 100 objects in this scene that were all textured with different maps, then I would have to be like, oh no, and then have to relink all of those colors, the transparency, the bump maps, like all of that stuff to the proper ones. And I'm going to cut this tutorial here because then we're going to get into the actual modeling side of things. All right. So thanks for watching, guys.